Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we have another Ocarina of Time randomizer match. We are in brackets round 2. This is Natheirean versus Yoyocarina. On commentary today, we have Pyra and New IT Guy, and they'll take it from here.
Hello, hello.
Hello, thank you, Baseball. Yeah, if you guys have not been here yet, this is a top 16 matchup, game one between these two. Um, as you can see on the stats page, they're actually very even.
Mhm.
5 races, 3 going to Yo-Yo, 2 going to Nath so far.
Yep. And first one between the two runners.
Yep. So first 1v1. I was actually looking at the challenge a little bit. They've had very similar paths to so far in this tournament. They both 3-0'd their group, and then they both took the top 32 round in a 2-1 fashion. So I think we're in for a barn-burning race today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What do we have
Looks
for settings?
Looks like today we have Scrub Shuffle picked by Nath, 3 Trials by Yo-Yo, Choose and Logic by Yo-Yo, and Free Scarecrow by Nath. And our bands were Chickens and Interior ER. I don't agree with the chicken band, but I respect it, Nath.
So I'm a multi-world teammate with Nath, just to get my bias out of the way here. Nath's big claim is that he's unbannable because there's nothing he really hates playing. So I think the chicken ban might have just been a little bit of a come at me. It's game one. So
Gotcha.
nice child start this time too. I actually kind of prefer a child start. I think there's a little bit more interesting routing you can do.
Right, because you pick songs. Do you based on an early check, do you immediately go adult? You have a lot of different options.
Yeah, I think the adult
Adults,
routing is kind of just river or CAC.
right? It's like, do you want to go to river first? Do you go to CAC first?
Yeah. Both runners synced up through that entire section. This is very impressive movement sync here.
So we got some Super Smash Brothers going on today.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I never got into using the models. I don't know why. I think it was just a comfort thing. I just liked having the original model. Also, I'm boring in tech. Oh, Mido.
Mido Provido. Strength and Hook. Okay.
Those are 2 very nice things to have.
Sub 1 hour forest incoming.
Yep. Both runners going into Lost Woods, which I debated multiple times with people. I actually think if you start Child, I think Lon Lon is always better.
Lon Lon, I agree, is the better play. Just on the chance that you get Minuet out there or something.
Yeah.
You get a free warp back. You don't have to worry about that. And even if it's another warp song like Requiem, you can go check Requiem and then do the song chain and then just reset.
Exactly. I think there's too many things that you can find in Lon Lon that make your Lost Woods better. But it's, I think, kind of just a personal preference. But I would be curious to see statistically if Lon Lon or Lost Woods ends up being better overall. But bug about it. Nice to get early, not super useful. I guess Lost Woods in this settings does have a little bit better of a start because you do get the 2 free scrubs here. So couple extra checks.
Yeah, and that bug ball is actually kind of nice to have early on the off chance that we do have some required skulls today.
Yeah, that is an added little niceness. Have to see what song is here. Yeah, Nath decided to ruin the sync to just go pick up 6 rupees. He's a monster. Gives some real nice sync going. See if that comes back to bite. If he loses by 5 seconds, we know where it happened.
What do we have today at Saria Sound? Long a time.
Definitely not one of the ones that you care about super early.
Shadow Trials on.
Yeah, so the inclusion of trials, it's an interesting choice because people end up kind of making the argument that it can push seeds to being more casino-y for like strength 3s, or you don't get the light arrow hint.
And that
so
was
there's a chance that we...
Oh, sorry. That was
No,
OOT being what you call it?
Minuet.
Minuet. Yeah.
With trials on, we'll actually get potentially a path to tower, which if people haven't seen, it's an item that you do not need to get into Ganon's, but you do need to beat trials.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, like Spirit Trial requires the Mirror Shield, but if Spirit is a medallion, the Mirror Shield will not be path to tower, because it needs to be a path to like the Twin Rova potential. So that can actually be a really interesting logic quirk with trials.
Deku Theater Mask is dead.
Yep. So nothing super interesting in our hints so far. Don't think we have a single path yet.
Nope.
The AD song you kind of don't have to worry about. It might be logical AD, but you can always just go around that.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely not a hard AD lock.
Yeah.
It could be like Rudo's locked behind, or logically locked behind AD with, Saria and Ice or something like that, but you can always just logic your way around that. It's not hard AD.
Yeah. And with Mido Skip, the logic jump is pretty widely known.
Yeah. I just learned that not too recently.
It is definitely one of the easier
tricks to learn.
Yeah. Oh, that confused the hell out of me.
Yeah. Shoe bag. Yeah, because we have bomb shoes in logic. We will be receiving a bomb shoe bag. As well as bomb shoes will spawn in grass patches like bomb drops do.
Yep. Bomb shoes are also in large chests with this because it's a logical requirement, so there's really no reason to open small chests if you don't need. But finding that bomb shoe bag early is kind of nice.
Speaking of things that we were talking about earlier, picking up Requiem in Lon Lon as a possibility.
Yep.
Oh, that's something we need to talk about. We have scrubs turned on, so there are 3 extra checks here in Lon Lon.
Yep. I was a little confused why Yo-Yo skipped that skull right now, and I was like, oh, is he just gonna play like entirely ignoring skulls? But I think some people tend to get it after the song just because of the routing. with scrubs on.
Heart container or piece. Heart piece.
Well, this is
And strength 2. Okay. Well,
early 2 strengths is pretty nice.
yeah.
Starting to get some of our potential trial items off the way.
Right.
Yeah, this is a very nice Lamon getting bombs, Requiem, second strength.
Yeah. Definitely Trials kind of promotes almost, if not going AD for, the song or whatever, it's you kind of have to dip a lot of extra checks just for the off items that you actually need to have to beat the seed. I mean, depending on our medallion layout, we may not have spirit, we may not have shadow, so needing fire source or something like that could come up.
Yeah. Ooh.
That was a 30 shield. I didn't see what kind of shield it was.
I believe it was the shiny mirror shield on 30.
Ooh.
Which again, until we know the meds or the trials, we may not need, but that is definitely something you want to at least make steady progress towards.
Ooh, it's a shiny shield on 30. Okay.
Nath is running out of Lon, so with scrubs, Valley Lake is a better play. There's 3 scrubs all the way down there. But he also doesn't have any money, and trying to pull 30 rupees out of like 3 checks is not going to be ideal.
Well, and the Valley Lake scrubs are also storms locked.
The Valley ones are.
Oh no,
the
lake. Okay, yeah, I know which ones you're talking about now. I was like,
Yeah, this looks like it's just Nath gone adult. He does actually tend to like doing an early adult play.
Yeah.
So this is our first real divergence with Yo-Yo going into Child Spirit here. I actually love this play. It's out of logic because he probably knows the choose strat, but you do technically need either slingshot or boomerang to get here.
I don't think so actually. If I don't remember how bomb choose and logic work with logic tricks with bomb choose.
I still think this is a trick. I don't think that is ever logical, even with bomb choose. Maybe I am incorrect about that. No, because you can buy bomb choose with bombs, and I know that this isn't in logic if you just have bombs. So, but what I was going to say is, since you already have strength 2, you can enter adult spirit like whenever you want. So I think doing the child side just in case it's required is smart.
Yeah. You'll know if you have like a boss key on one side.
Yeah. You were already out here checking the song, so I don't think this is too crazy a play.
This is going to be most likely a medallion anyway. There's a better than odds. Oh my god, it's loaded. Okay, well, it's a bottle.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's potentially a very nice find early. So. Like that clever money routing by Nath, selling the pre-bottled bugs for 50 rupees to the beggar. Frees up his bottle at the same time as he gets enough money to do the shooting game. I don't know if that's faster than just doing a trip up the ropes, but not having to dump the bottle later if you need it for something is probably a little bit of extra time save. So.
Nothing on shooting gallery.
Yo-Yo doing the flame storage. as child. Just a very nice trick to make this room significantly less obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it vanilla is not fun. So the other thing with bomb shoes and logic, for anyone who may not be super familiar with this setting, even though they only start with 10...
Oh! Sniper.
Oh.
Oh. Well, we do have a fairy in the ball, so...
We did have the fairy in the bottle. He doesn't have to really save his chews because they are respawnable. As new IT guy said, the bomb chew drops end up replacing bomb drops out of blades of grass. So you can always farm bomb chews, and there's no need to like really worry about like scumming them or anything.
Yep. And it looks like we got a forest path to tower.
Forest to tower is interesting.
Yep, that's some light arrows on falling ceiling if I've ever heard one before.
Richard has a bottle for a third one, none of which have been redos yet. And also, I think the Nocturne pad hint was Burning Kakariko has Song of Storms. If someone in chat can confirm that. Yep, thank you.
That is
Virgil.
interesting. Bigger Undead, Deku Foolish, DC to Bongo. Okay.
In these settings, DC path is not very surprising because there's 6 extra checks with the scrubs. 5?
Yes.
4?
4. 1, the lobby, 2, yeah. 4. Yeah, it's getting bounced up. And 40-50 dead.
50 are dead. So 30 might be required. We'll see here as we check our medallions.
Mm-hmm.
Jabu, Shadow, Water,
Forest, Fire, DC.
Forest, Fire, DC.
So that
Spirit?
is a Stone Spirit.
Yep. I think it's Deku, was it?
Yeah, Deku would have been the other one. That
So
we know
Baron's
is foolish.
So with that dungeon layout too, that's actually pretty interesting. We need most of our items except for Mirror Shield.
Mm-hmm. Mirror's the only question mark right now.
Outside of trials. So I think the path to tower is actually severely limited to basically just lights or strength 3. Because every other item would potentially be a path to a medallion.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, we do have a med spirit. Okay, can't be for fire source. And spirit's a medallion, or shadow's a medallion, so it can't be magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that the forest path can only be a strength or it's light arrows.
Yeah. And actually, I think the interesting thing, if that Kokiri Forest was also to tower, I think it has to be strength 3. Because the hookshot can't be path to tower because we're going to get long shot for water. So this is one of those really interesting logical things that I think we are guaranteed to have a fire or light trial on.
Yep. Mirror is required if spirit's on, but we know mirror's on 30 skulls, so it's not what's enforced.
It also can't be hinted because it's on an always hint, so...
Exactly.
Yeah. It can't be, like, separately hinted because it's on an always hint. Song on Bolero check is kind of nice because Nath hasn't been to Graveyard yet, so he can kind of sweep through and do Sun's Grave.
Oh yeah, this is an interesting one. Bomb Shoe Bowling is actually in logic with Bomb Shoes if it's turned on.
Yep.
So we can do a Bomb Shoe Bowling, and it's gonna have a scale. It's a something.
Yep, definitely worth playing for in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a worst scrub is dead hint, which is just always nice to see.
Yep.
That DMC scrub as a child is a very long hike if you have to do it. So.
Yep. Long hike, low health. Oh, fire. Well,
Fire
there's your
trap.
strength 3 requirement. We will need 3 strengths today to yeet a rock.
This again, as a teammate of Nath, I think he knows that type of logic. I don't know if Yoyocarina played multi-world. I actually, unfortunately, don't know much about them at all. I know they've been a runner for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
But Nath and I were talking about like the logical quirks of path to tower hints, so I think that might be one of the reasons
Rip.
he went. He might be pretty comfortable with this. Ooh, getting
Rip
sniped
Nath.
like that. Yeah.
Got yeeted off the tower. Or
I
yeeted
feel like
off the wall.
I get sniped by those falling rocks jumping down from there so often. And it feels so bad because it's such a long walk back.
For the forest path to tower hint. Yo-Yo trying to do the invincible stick for the skull and saying screw it, and I'm just gonna hit it.
Yeah, it's
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it's one of those tricks that it feels a lot easier than it actually is sometimes. Sometimes it's really finicky.
Here's an interesting one.
Yeah.
A scrub you
Probably
normally don't oversee.
One of the easier grottos full of scripts to skip, but the early Song of Time, it does actually come in handy here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, game. Last one.
Just heart pieces there, but that is one of those grottos that you want to just get out as early as possible so you don't have to keep thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It also has a very weird, eclectic group of items that puts it in logic.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, it's one of the few things that Neighbor's Love can actually be hinted path for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, do not put me on pizza. The goal of this rando is to get 6 medallions at the end of 6 dungeons, and then go into Ganon's and beat Ganon. Today we have trials on, so that also requires doing 3 of these 6 trials? Yeah,
Yep.
6 trials.
One for each amount.
Yep. Which as of right now we know is the Shadow and the Fire trials.
Yep. Now that doesn't mean that we won't see any of the stones either.
Yeah.
Because we need items to be whatchamacallits. Water trial. Okay. So Mirror Shield is not required yet.
Yeah. Yeah, and in Spirit it only lacks 3 items, and you don't have a Spirit Temple path, so I would probably be not nearly as stressed about trying to get the skulls.
Yeah.
But even Nath just knowing the 3 trials now, I think Yo-Yo only knows 2 of them. Being able to kind of more selectively go for skulls makes sense.
Yep, and that is true. There is a pretty good chance of a Spirit to Baronade path.
That is true. Yeah. Pulling the boomerang out.
It could also be a lawn de Baronade as well.
Yeah, the location of the ring makes it available as adult, but we have not seen the key requirement yet, so that child's side key might be the only small key we have available to us. So
Yeah.
we'll have
And
to
we
see.
may not have logical wasteland cross. Well,
Yeah. True.
If we don't have logical, it automatically throws it in there too.
Yeah. Now giving us our early Dodongos, which is path to Bongo Bongo. Let's see what we pull out of here.
All the forest path to towers.
Yeah, this is one of the seeds that the path to towers might actually not be as useful.
That's not. It's not a. If it may have been a repeat hint, but we definitely have Forest Temple and Kokiri Forest, both paths to towers.
Yeah. Which, based on what we were talking about earlier with the logic, I think might just have to be lights and strength 3. I don't think there's anything else that could be path to tower.
Nope.
So burning 2 hints on those two, which, to be fair, those items can be casino-y.
Right. So, strength 3 in Forest Temple, thank you.
Yeah. Also, the Kokiri Forest one is also just for strength because all 3 strengths are probably available, so it's strength 3, not strength 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I will never complain about finding the lights early, but...
I mean, for it to be path to tower, it just has to be behind the boulder maze, so it can't be in the front half of forest. So it's either falling ceiling or any of the Poe fights, Ganon, or Phantom Ganon, whatever. Yep, lights were on the lobby scrub. Hey, it's Bo.
Well, now we have a...
Let's go to forest!
Yeah. So Nath is going to probably just full clear DC here, because even though we only have Choose, he does have the strength for the easier KD fight, as Yo-Yo pulls ZL off of Storm's check. And we just get a Silver Gauntlets raid. Welcome in. And a raid from Jax, who I believe was just competing in the Silver Gauntlets raids. So welcome in, everyone. For those of you just joining us, the settings are pinned in chat, but we have Scrub Shuffle, Trials On, Choose in Logic, and Free Scarecrow going today. This is game 1 of a top 16 match between Natheirean and Yoyocarina. So welcome in.
Hey, it's Bomb Bag.
As close to a vanilla Bomb Bag as you can get without actually being vanilla.
Yeah.
So far the only thing that we've gotten out of here that could be path to Bongo, I think, is that bow.
Yep.
I never like trusting bow paths either. Bow paths always feel very weird to me.
Yeah, because, I mean, a bow path can lead you a lot of places. It could be, like... I mean, it could be something as crazy as, like, hovers on lax because you have a key locked in fire behind the eye switch. Yeah. Like, you can get some really stupid stuff.
Yeah. I find usually what bow paths, especially if it's an early bow, it's usually that like bow locks a single item that locks up a lot of the game too.
Yeah. Jax, we have Choose in Logic.
Yes. We also have two very early Sphere Zero strengths in
That
Midos and Lon Lon, so...
and neither one lock each other, so...
Yep.
And our third strength is in Forest Temple because it is hinted and it is the only thing it can possibly be.
Yep. So. Fun little path to tower logic quirks.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we just pulled light arrows out of DC takes that off the possibility for... Ooh, so... Yo-Yo's going back here, maybe for the two skulls, which is kind of just an interesting thing, so... I think Yo-Yo still doesn't know for certain if the mirror shield is required. Because they haven't seen the third path in, but it does look like they're putting a little bit higher priority on skulls, so... If, even if there's something on 10 or 20, their pushing might be a little bit more efficient. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the only bad thing that can really happen, something that's unhinted on the 3 possible checks that it could be required for.
Yeah. And Spirit is not a bad play in general, anyway. I mean, we have so many items for it already. Like Yo-Yo having done all of Childside, and I think found 2 of the 5 keys. So.
Wait, no. There aren't any keys in Water Trial, are there? The only keys are in Light Trial?
Yeah, the only keys that you need for...
Okay. I was gonna be like, wait, Mirror could be for key logic in GC, but no. Never mind, we're good.
Yeah. So.
We're good.
Both players choosing to keep the tunics, which I appreciate. Even with 3 bottles, I think the tunic is just faster. You don't have to worry about like going and getting this fairy and whatnot for your fire temple dip.
So, something fun to point out, until we find a wallet, Goron tunic technically could be the path.
You're not wrong.
That is a crappy path, but it could just be for something behind which room is it? The block room, the elevator. That's what it's called. The elevator room. In fire, because that's where it's required.
Yeah,
or on full fight.
Yeah, so I think going through all of DC, we're with either the Goron tunic or the bow, and neither of those are paths that I would like to see for bongos.
And we very well could just pick up hover boots on adult archery, which fulfills the path.
That does fulfill the path.
I mean, I was kind of enjoying the idea of let's figure out our tunic logic here for a second, but let's face it, no one wants tunic logic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the bow to hovers feels like it might already be kind of fulfilled, but we still have a lot of stuff to still pull for Shadow.
Definitely fulfills it. Doesn't mean it's the right path.
Yeah.
Very well could have like a magic that's bow locked too or something.
Nath getting his skull hints as Yo-Yo just traces steps through DC. So we're 30 minutes in, and the really only big difference between these two runners is Yo-Yo with that child spirit dip pulling the boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
Yo-Yo grabbing his bomb bag.
See some graveyard. Let's figure out what's in Shield Grave. None.
Nothing. We did have Yo-Yo going through here earlier. I don't think we had pulled anything, but I think the order in which Yo-Yo did... I don't think we saw Yo-Yo go back for the Composer Grave, because I think he played Song of Time through the Dampe race to get into Windmill, and then pulled CO. So, given Nath's ordering of just coming through CAC into Graveyard, he'll probably grab Composer Grave before he leaves to go wherever he's going.
Yeah, I would say Forest probably next. You could rush Ice, but Fountain being foolish, Ice kind of sucks as a play, but still get you a song.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of interesting potential logic here, because we know that Minuet is on AD. So we're kind of looking for Sarios to put Forest in Logic, but it also doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, because, I mean, at some point, Rudos will have to be in Logic.
Yeah.
Since Jabu is a med and an all-reachable.
Yeah, and since Forest is required, it's a 15-minute dungeon. We have everything to do it. It makes sense to start maybe heading that way.
What do we get? Storms.
We could also just end up with Sarias here in Graveyard, and then everything's in Logic, and we can just go beat our Forest level. Oh. Nath getting the sweet little hook shot up to the torch. I've seen a few people do that before. But you kind of get the hook shot off before the cutscene plays, and it like carries you through the cutscene. It's just like a really efficient time save. And there, in fact, is our Sarias to put Forest Metal, or Forest Temple in full Logic. Oh, so one thing about Song of Storms being on Burning Cack that we didn't talk about is how many storm or scrub grottos require storms. It does actually lock even more checks in these settings than storms normally does.
Right, but at this point it can only lock Rudos or a hammer.
Yeah.
Yes, Nath did pick up the tunic. They're on dead.
Zio was on the Song of Storms check, I believe. Natheirean with the ever popular Mido Skip Skip, where you could Mido Skip, but you just play Saris.
I thought that was Mido Skip. I know there's 3 Mido Skips. I don't remember what the order of them is.
Yeah, I never remember either. Then there's the famous multi-world team that's Mido Skip. I think they put as many skips until they got character limited by the team name. Yo-Yo grabbing the hovers, so...
Mido Skip is when you do Mido Skip over most. Okay. Got
it. So yeah, Yo-Yo being a little bit more thorough with the skulls in DC did get him to 10 here, so was able to turn in 10. Unfortunately did not pay off. It's just a bomb drop, but...
20 is still entirely possible.
Yep. And with the way that he's routing, it makes me think he might just push to 30 just for safety. This feels like a very thorough kind of play.
I mean, we know Spirit Dip is required.
Yeah.
For the boomerang, but I mean, he still doesn't have the hint yet about water. I don't think.
Yeah, I think he's still missing the trial knowledge.
I mean, even then, if it's on 3 out of the, if it's on any one of the 3 checks, that something else is required. Definitely an advantage if he's going to go all the way for it.
Yeah. So one of the interesting things about the way that this tournament is set up too is the fact that we have best of 3s. I feel like players are more willing to kind of either play aggressively or go a little crazy in like game 1, or especially if they have like a 1-0 lead in a series. It's been interesting to see how players like kind of adapt through series too. You know, if you're in like a do or die situation, maybe you play a little bit more aggressively. Sometimes maybe play a little safer.
Right. So. Or if you, I mean, there's also some, knowledge of if you know your opponent well, there's some metagaming that can also go on.
Yeah.
But we got nice arrows in Zora's River.
I know, watching Nath's series at least, he played fairly aggressively at times in his last series, but this feels like a safer play from Yo-Yo, which I can respect in the game 1 situation too.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, we got a Spirit Temple path, but it wasn't for the one that we thought it was going to be. Spirit Temple to Morpha. Wow. So is that for a long shot, or is that for the actual boomerang that then leads to long shot? That's going to be interesting. That also actually bails Nath out, because Nath is now going to go to Spirit, and will more than likely end up finding the boomerang while he's there. But it also benefits Yo-Yo in that maybe 30 skulls might actually be required.
Wait. What was the path then? It was to Bongo, right?
I thought it was Spirit to Morpha.
Oh, okay. It's DC to Bongo.
Yeah, DC to Bongo.
Okay.
I like this play from Yo-Yo. I was thinking about if anyone was going to do this out of cap, was run up a river and then dive through the forest. Did pull Lens out of the open grotto too, which, Lens locks a couple things, but we don't have a chest game hint yet, so maybe.
Yeah,
So
we don't
I
have
know
the chess
Nath.
game, but we have. Well, I guess Logical Wasteland Cross is probably out too.
Yeah.
Unless
So
we
the
play
lens
Magic.
doesn't matter because we have Requiem already. So.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we need to get to like the Haunted Wasteland, that's before the lens even comes in. You have the flags that you can run through. So. I know Natheirean likes to just swag out on people. I would be curious with the hover boots and free scarecrow if he goes for a 3-key forest. Maybe just one for the people.
I don't know if you try 3-key if you have a path to tower here.
Oh, he's doing it. Oh, he's psycho and he hits it. Oh, I told you, he swags out. He's... I hate him. I'm just gonna say it. This guy is so annoying. Being a teammate with him, he's so insufferable. Dude. Yeah, that's not an easy trick. The timing of the rolls and the jump slash are very like finicky.
Oh look, it's strength 3.
It's a big chest.
On falling
I swear to
ceiling.
God, I hate this man. I've done so many 3-key forests and like Triforce splits that don't pay out, and the one time he does it on restream, he pulls his path item. I'm done. I hate this guy. If you're here for unbiased comms, this is what you're getting now. I'm just gonna rip Nath for the rest of the time. Ugh.
So fun fact, because of the way Forest is laid out logically, I joke about the big chest always being on falling ceiling because the probability of a big chest on falling ceiling is mathematically higher than pretty much every other check.
Yeah, so there's actually good reasons for it because it's one of the few checks that's behind all 5 keys.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much every other check outside of like the basement has a potential to be a small key, but falling ceiling and basement don't. So those are just much more likely to be items than any other checks in Forest. But yeah. And the funny thing is like I think that for roars, 3-keying doesn't even really save you that much time, but Nath has his 3 keys, so he doesn't need to open any more of the small key chests. It actually saved him. I think the well check in the courtyard was a small key, but you didn't have to get that now. So that's actually one of the slower checks to go get. So not only for the memes, the swag, but I think it might have actually been time efficient with him hitting it first try. So can we ban Sky Goro? Can we get a timeout for that?
It says dual barrel roll.
Damn it, Sky. Yeah, we're gonna not talk about Nath's cursed ass model either, because, you know, that's what it is. Yeah, we're getting the infamous Double Forest, which I know a lot of people hate. I love Forest Temple. I will defend it to the end of days. I think it's a really high execution dungeon, and I actually think it has some really interesting micro-routing things. Like, Nath's routing through this dungeon I think has made a lot of sense. He got 1 key, then he went to the push block room to do the hover over to Floor Master to go into the courtyard. He swagged out, did the 3-key forest. Oh, this is the other key that he could skip too now? Wow. The location of the keys in this dungeon actually paid out for the 3 keying, like, really big. Those are two of the like slower checks to have to do in Forest, too, that he's now gotten to skip because he doesn't have to grab those last 2 keys. Yo-Yo's going the more vanilla way of just shooting the eye switch coming into the courtyard. Wow. Yo-Yo is already up to 19 skulls, too.
Yep.
That is a very, very impressive, like, basically, I think by the time he leaves here, he's going to have over 20 at sub-hour, probably.
Yep.
Very, very good skill routing.
The other thing that may be going through his head is I've seen the 30 hint. I haven't seen the tower hints, but there's now a spirit path. You know, and how unlikely is it going to be on Twin Roba or one of the rock checks?
Yeah, I mean, that is a good possibility. It's statistically probably not likely to require mirror, but this feels like just a safe play too. Like, if I'm gonna go back to Spirit, like, have everything that I might possibly need while I'm there. Because he's already done the 2 fire checks. We have Strength 2, we have Hook Shot, so if Yo-Yo's gonna go back to Spirit, thinking that the long shot might be there and it wasn't the boomerang, you probably just want to grab mirror just to be safe. Now, save quitting out, getting to skip the couple, the Frozen Ice Witch room because of the 3 key that he did. A very impressive Forest tempo from Nath. That backward hovers always makes me so nervous. That Yo-Yo did. I just never trust myself with the proper timing of the backflip or the angle. So to have the
I don't trust myself to do the recoil, let alone doing a backwards walk with hover boots.
I appreciate both of our runners swagging out in Forest. Forest is boring, people say, as we get 2 runners just swagging out left and right in here. Yeah, wake up now. Chat, I'm looking at you now. So yeah, other than the Strength 3, which we knew was here, there hasn't been anything of interest in Forest.
Nope.
So now we're starting to get to the end of the I guess the last thing that we really have direction towards is still the Spirit to Morpha path, which I don't think Natheirean has seen because he did not go into River yet. So where we go from here will be interesting.
Almost a reverse wasteland.
Yeah, I could see this.
Got everything in this irons if hover or if there's something in the toilet.
Yeah, Fortress GTG area is a interesting idea.
I mean, we have logical access to it with Eponas.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be the best play.
Or if we do, we can rush ice out of logic and see if it pays off. But
yeah, I think because of the song layout, I don't think ice is even that strong a play because it has to have either serenade.
prelude or serenade, yeah.
So the song is a lot less strong.
Mm-hmm. And the fountain's foolish, so you're making the 200 IQ guess that hammer or maybe Dens is behind it.
Yeah, so Nath grabbing the back of Deku hints, since beating Forest drops us off here and we don't have the Kokiri sword. I like this. And with two of our path hints getting eaten up by tower paths, the actual like dungeon progression knowledge is just not very available.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I think both of those were duplicate hints, so not finding the info he's looking for. Requiem, this might be your reverse play?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks that way.
Fucking berry on the way.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we're still missing a lot of items, I guess, so... Ruto's Hammer, Din's... Magic? I think so, like four things?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good likelihood GTG might have something with its 15-something checks, I think.
Yes.
Oh, Iron's and long shot too. Jeez. Yeah, so we're actually missing a lot of stuff. I would be curious to see if Yo-Yo ends up going to Spirit again. The boomerang was nice to pull out of there, but without like Rita's, it doesn't necessarily give you anything to even be able to check to see if that was the path or not. So,
Right.
Notice how they're in around 20 skulls. Might be waiting to hit 30 before he goes in.
Yeah, it's crazy how much time saved on that 3-key forest.
Yeah, the key layout just kind of actually played into it a bit today.
Oh. There's a big chest on top of Fortress.
Yo-Yo grabbing a strength 3. I would be curious to see exactly how much time you saved. I know, because Neff did come in to Forest significantly before Yo-Yo got there. But I do think the 3 key did save some time being able to skip the 2 longer checks of like the well and the flippy room. Which I believe is its official term. I think it's the flippy room. Yo-Yo entering the Meg fight. Ah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Just bomb shoes. With
Because
the bomb shoes and logic.
Goldie
Forgot
boys.
about that setting.
Yes, we can technically get baited by bomb shoes.
And I think there's like, is it 5 overall packs in the setting or something? So, a few more bait items spread around with bomb shoes and big chests, but has helped our runners not having to pick up the small chests because there's really nothing of use in them. So.
And it's bomb shoes, right?
Ah, that's a nice utility to have, but with the Baron, Deku, and AD being dead, don't think we're going to be seeing that being super useful.
Yeah. Make sure, if you actually run out of sticks for Baronade.
Yeah. Honestly, it just makes Jabber better in
case,
general.
But,
so.
Yeah.
Not having to worry about broken stick for crouch stabbing or anything, like, it's just kind of a nice utility as a child. Yo-Yo entering the Phantom Ganon fight. Oof. Yo-Yo setting up for the 0 cycle, it looks like. Getting right next to the thing. I don't know how that jump slash missed the Phantom Ganon, that was unfortunate. I thought that was good.
Yes, and we have a happy 1 hour.
Yes, we did in fact miss. We can get our shout-outs going too.
Yep.
Thank you.
Make sure to give our runners a follow, Natheirean and Yoyocarina. Tracking for us today is Baseball and Adam Shadow. Thank you so much. I believe Baseball is also our restreamer.
Yes.
And commentating with me today is Pyro. Thank you for joining me.
Of course, yeah. Always happy to publicly bully a friend of mine on cards. So. Ooh. Big chest on Stalthos. Oh, okay. That is an in-logic wallet, so I think that guarantees that our bongo pack was in fact that bow.
Yep. No shenanigans.
Yo-Yo is really pushing these skulls. Playing Sun Song to get the Kokiri Forest Adult one. If I remember correctly, I think he was at 21 leaving for us, so it should be 22. Yeah.
Maybe he just got the read on the seed. And he's just going off his gut and says this is the play.
Yeah. I think these are new checks in DMC and DMT that we haven't seen yet either. Well, maybe we've seen that, but... that was... 4 keys locked behind strike 2, so...
What do you mean by does the bot have the wrong link for one of the trackers?
Purple rupee on the DMT fairy. Let's see what this is. Roar's not required, but pretty nice to have. So. I was not really counting keys. I know there were 4 behind strength 2. I think Nath has like 3 of them, but I don't know if toilet is an item or a key. I did not see well enough into the maze, so. Oh, this is Yo-Yo's first time in the Goron City. All Seed 2. I were in. Interesting. Meanwhile, Nath is going for HBA to clear out the fortress area fully. That was the water trial hint, so I think that might be all 3 now for Yo-Yo. I think that might be the 3rd trial that he needed.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought Nath was going to go for just a casual HPA 2000.
It's a major refund. And a minor refund. So yeah, I mean, there were a lot of big chests in GTG, but there was nothing outwardly super useful in there. Pulling the Furrows is nice. This swaggy little... There's a really weird collision thing with that corner that you can just kind of like drop opponent off of to get out of Fortress quicker, so yeah, just casually hitting that. Yo-Yo's going Child. Interesting. Neither of our runners have gone to Child Goron City yet.
Like Bloopy.
Oh no. Oh, that's awful. That's the worst.
I've mentioned that before.
Lon Lon Ranch to tower for our 3rd strength. All three strengths just got hinted, I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. Boy, that's funny.
So, that's interesting because, I mean, all three of our strengths were fairly free, but,
Math isn't missing Valley Scrubs. He can't do them. They're storm clock.
no, yeah, the Valorants are... Storms is on Burning Cack today, so... Oh,
Chickens are dead.
the chicken's hint. Negating the ban on chickens by just getting a hint and being like, yeah, you don't have to do this anyway. Nat's drafting strategy in shambles. Hyrule Castle Fairy is just arrows. So.
Right.
Oh, this is Yo-Yo doing Composer Grave finally. Forgot he had never come back here, so... This will be interesting, because he'll get to do the torch run as a child. Here at the same time.
Strength 2 Scrub Grotto is in Colossus.
I believe we saw Nath do that earlier. I don't think Yo-Yo did, because I don't think he's been to Colossus as an adult. But I think both were dead. And that is the second scale. So that's interesting. That puts Lab Dive into logic, but both of our runners are missing a scale that the other one has. So. Great time of day management to get to that Shoot the Sun there, too. I think was just a red rupee.
Wasn't important.
No. And here we go with the torch run. If this ends up being something, this could be a pretty important item location, too, since Nath did this as an adult.
Oh, nope. Not punished.
Great chick. Yeah. Well executed by Yo-Yo. Oh. So that was 25 skulls from Yo-Yo, which will actually put him at 30 with the 5 from Nightcack here.
Yep.
So we'll be able to check the 20 and pull the Mirror Shield here. Adult fishing just giving a refund. Which I feel like is probably the most common item I see on that, is literally a red rupee. It's probably bias. I swear, I feel like every time it's...
Oh no, every time I'm commentating it's actually an item. Like, oh, this is what we needed for a couple hours now.
Yeah. Nath dipping in this fire temple. I don't mind this play. Potentially you just get hammered
and immediately locked out.
Yeah.
And we are not. We may ascend.
The one thing I would say is I would very prefer to have magic as I'm doing this, but with the furrows that Nath has. But again, you have Bolero, so getting back to fire isn't bad, but once you start to climb it, the time investment to just like ride the elevator up just becomes a lot. So.
Right.
That's 30 for Yo-Yo.
Okay. No skulls are required unless the mirror shield has one of 3 checks.
Yep. So we are going to be hammer locked here in fire with that not being a small key. But does not mean this check is not going to have an item or something. Oh, just a small key. So yeah, we're kind of running out of stuff to do. We're missing a bunch of items that are kind of all preventing us from accessing any of our major dungeons.
And we're not going to get any hints to anything today.
Yeah, all of our hints are for
We've already
strengths.
exhausted all of our hints, and all of them were for the strengths that we've already had.
Yeah. I would say, like, the Forest Temple hint was probably, like, the best one that we got, and even that is, like, well, it's Forest Temple, which is a medallion, so we were doing it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, like, Nath has full cleared what we could do in GTG. I think our most dense area left is actually finishing up Spirit.
I think so.
Yeah. Child Goron City for the first time. This is 3 checks that we can do. Yeah, this is one of the unintended holy crap. Consequences? There we go. My brain just decided to not word of trials is the potential for all of your path hints to get eaten by path to tower hints. So.
Oh, hello.
That is another big pull. So.
Dad casually having dens.
Yeah, that's again, not
magic,
super.
though.
Yeah, not super useful for us right now, but that's a pretty stranded item location. You need to actually come child to like intend to do Child Goron City, so it's just a little bit of a nasty spot. Natheirean River, which I think is where we saw the Spirit to Morpha path, so I think he's gonna get that soon.
Yeah, it's up top.
Yo-Yo had a really
Oh,
nice...
Jesus.
Oh, shit, it was Child Goron City the whole time. That's huge for Yo-Yo. Having the Rang already, he can just dive across the domain and just do Jabu now. I think this race is swung a bit now. Nath was kind of ahead on progression, but Yo-Yo keeps pulling items. So... Nath seeing the Spirit path. Yeah, Nath going straight to Spirit now. So we'll see if he's adult locked here, because Nath has not done Child Spirit. So if there's no small key, he might have to go Child here. Yo-Yo's also only down to 1 stick, and I think does not have the K-Sword that Nath found, so he's gonna have to spend a little bit of time farming some sticks here. You need at least 4. But even 4 is like scary because if you accidentally waste one somehow,
Right.
then you have to rely on pot strats, and no one wants to do pot strats.
I've never actually seen them be done. I've heard it be talked about,
Yeah. Yep.
but I've never actually seen anyone successfully do it. They just drop the pot and go, and then just alt F4 out of it.
For the question in chat, the boomerang was on the child spirit climb. One of those 2 checks. I'm pretty sure they were both big, and I forget. One was a bottle, one was a boomerang. So this will actually also tell us now, now that Yo-Yo's going in Jabu, it'll tell us if the ring is actually the path out of spirit. I mean, Nath's also in spirit, so we might just find something else too. There is a key adult sides. Not child locked.
Nope.
I don't think the map chest had anything. I think it was a dead item. I do remember the sunblock room having a small key, so I don't think Nath is going to be super punished by not having magic here either.
There's another small key.
Yo-Yo going through domain, doing his torch run. Those are really well executed. Child domain. The strats that have come out, like, over time for how to do the torch run and the diving game together have always made me really impressed.
So that's our Pathomorpha.
Okay.
If I've ever seen one.
Staying in. I think he's gonna... Yep, he's gonna pull his boomerang here too. Spirit also loaded today. Where was that, the scale that Nath is missing? Do you remember?
No.
Was it, oh, was Bombchu Bowling, I think?
Yep, that was right.
Yeah. Missing that scale, can't gold scale water until he goes back child, too. So neither of those items really do a lot for Nath right now. He still needs to find something else to put either the long shot or the boomerang into effect here. Yo-Yo, meanwhile, going through Jabu. So I guess the fact that the long shot is also in spirit means we're at least not going to find long shot here. Which I think, from Yo-Yo's perspective, I think not finding anything in Jabu is probably better because it'll push him back to spirit to chase the path a little bit more.
Yeah, whereas finding hammer here, for instance, while it's necessary, could lead him, you know, down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Hot rodder.
Oh, I almost forgot about this. There is the scrub in Jabu. Scrubs around.
Yep, Dad had Den's. Hot rodder had the letter. And here's Biggie. Magic?
Another bit.
Magic?
First slingshot.
Okay.
Wow. So Spirit had a slingshot and a boomerang. It also had a key on child side. That's kind of funny. I'm gonna try to think for a second. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Oh
that's
god.
my command.
I'm trying to figure out if both the boomerang and the slingshot can be there first. I mean, obviously the boomerangs can be the first. I'm trying to figure out if that's first slingshot. I think it can be. I think that's really gross.
Well, logically it is, because we need to. You would just have to do an H change.
Yeah.
To
Actually,
get the last key, because we have all 5.
well, so I was thinking because there's a key child side, but there's also a key adult side. So yeah, that can actually be
Mhm.
the first slingshot. Because I was thinking, like, if slingshot and boomerang were both locked behind the child spirit thing, like, that wouldn't be possible, but you can get boomerang from adult side with a single key. So.
Oh, jeez.
That's a really weird.
And for everyone who's interested in League, watch the following plug in chat.
Signups are, I believe, closing soonishly for League?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put a deadline that I'm not aware of on it, but
Initially sounds pretty good.
soonishly, yeah.
Yeah, March 15th. That's soonishly.
Sure. Yep.
'18th. Okay. Still soonishly.
It's a little bit less soonishly. It's a little bit more laterishly, but
What is time?
So far, nothing in Jabu. Boomerang check is going to be our last one until Baronade itself. Herself.
Oh.
That looks like a
Hold
big chest
on.
spawning. It's a big chest.
Okay.
Okay.
I half expected that.
Yeah. I think Yo-Yo's on a little bit of a dungeon path here now, because that gives full shadow completion. So my guess is Jabu into shadow. And I think we're just missing hammer.
Yep.
And then potentially
Hammer, irons, if you want to be technical about it.
we know where both scales are, but both runners are missing one scale. We might need irons if it's central pillar, so.
That'd be very funny.
Yeah. So yeah, Yo-Yo, doing that good child section has gotten pretty bailed. Not bailed, I guess, but just gotten pretty good items here. Nath getting his gold scale. My guess is we might end up just finding irons on the path. Like, it might just be in shadow or something. Also to note, the fact that the long shot was not mirror shield locked is a really good thing for Nath. We'll see what ends up happening when Yo-Yo goes in, but Yo-Yo has a bit of time before they're probably even going to think about going back to Spirit, given they have some progression dungeons to do.
Might be a Goron City play.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, Nath, having done like Fortress, GTG, there's not a whole lot left for him Did most of Spirit as adults, so a child cleanup segment here makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, and that'll put him basically into go mode. Minus the wherever this hammer is going to be at, which is a casino at this point.
Yeah.
Or it's on the way.
Yeah, this has been an interesting race because the deviations that both runners took have kind of ended up, like Nath was able to full clear GTG basically, but didn't really pull anything, and I think Yo-Yo's been a little bit more thorough, especially with like the skulls and stuff, but has just found the items a little bit earlier.
Yep.
So.
This could be hammer.
Ooh. Yeah, Nath does have this slingshot. Nope, just a piece of heart. That could have been huge, because I don't know when you go back just for target in the woods as a child.
Right.
So, from Yo-Yo's perspective, but just a piece of heart.
Ooh.
Oh,
Jeez. This is... hold on. I don't want to jinx it. But damn, that was the cleanest Baronet I've ever seen. Okay.
That was a
There we
good
go.
one. That boss fight just looks... It's so good when you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Baronet is, like, by far my favorite boss fight to do, because when you get it right, it just feels... Oh, it feels so good, too.
Yeah.
Also got the quick Rudo cutscene. So, I don't know how many people know this, but the way you walk into that blue orb can actually save you a few seconds. If you, like... In order for you to teleport out of that dungeon, you have to be facing Rudo. So if you walk past a point, like, Link will turn around and then slowly turn to face Rudo, and it can actually take a few seconds. But if you walk into, like, the blue circle in the correct angle already, like, you'll just instantly kind of warp out. It's a very small optimization, but it's always funny to see a runner hit it. No, neither runner has done Ice Cavern. Fountain is foolish, and then also the songs that can be in ice just aren't very useful, so it's been kind of steering people away from going there.
And at this point, it can only have the hammer.
It could have irons too.
Okay, it can have iron.
Yeah, but we don't even know if we need irons, I guess, because we do have gold scale access, so... Which I think Yoyocarina is probably going to get here, because I think it was in the Lake Scrubs. The other scale.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah, Yoyocarina just clearing up. He's been very thorough this seed, so doing Childlike makes sense to me. Just follows the pattern. Meanwhile, Nath is going to be going into Jabu. So yeah, Yo-Yo not pulling anything out of Jabu.
Magic.
Oh, he did pull magic, you're right. Okay. I was gonna say not pulling anything that, like, points towards the path, but the magic could be path, so...
Mm-hmm.
I think you definitely end up doing Shadow first, but... The only thing Yo-Yo we know needs to do is to go back into Spirit, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of items he might pull that distract him from that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that is terrifying. This owl will kidnap you, but he also he flies a little bit towards where you talk to him from. So if you're afraid or if you keep getting kidnapped by him, go to the front of the grave to talk to the owl, and then run around back, and it's much, much less likely that he kidnaps you, because we'll actually fly forward away from the back of the grave first. Yeah. Yep, so there's the gold scale for Yo-Yo.
Hey, Link, I got some rupees. You want to come over here?
Yeah. So, ooh, Yo-Yo also has the ability to do the chess game here. If he plays Sun Song, we'll start taking bets for, Oh, he's equipping it. We're doing it. Get your guesses in. Let's go.
And we have a right.
I'm immediately out. That's cool. Fine, game. I'll just deal with it. That's fine.
And
Yeah,
then we have a
hits me.
left. And then we have a right. And then we have a left. And a left. And I believe that
What's a big boy? Oh, oh, oh.
beat everyone out.
Oh, that's fitting, though. The Stone of Agony at the end of the chess game.
We have Pound Lord Paperweight.
So yeah, while Nath is in Jabu here, my guess is Yo-Yo immediately goes into do Shadow. So we'll have to see what Shadow holds for us today. Importantly, both runners found the other scales that they were missing, so neither really has an advantage when it comes to gold scale or irons. So potentially we're just down to the hammer.
That is correct. More shoes.
You know, what's a little interesting is Yo-Yo pulled the gold scale from Lake and then didn't do lab dive while they were there. I know it was a little bit out of the way, like you have to run from the grave back to the lab, but without Serenade, I feel like that's kind of a gross check to put off. But you can do lab dive as child.
But I don't think he has a reason to do it as child either.
No, but it was just he pulled the gold scale there.
Yeah.
like while he was already there in Lake, so just since we don't have Serenade this seed, like getting back there just to do lab dive feels really gross. Like obviously you're gonna have to run over there to do water at some point, but it's like if that has your hammer, that's a pretty stranded location. It could also have irons, which is just funny, but Kokiri Sword was domain?
I think it was GTG.
Oh, yeah, it was the GTG, right? Both runners did domain. Yo-Yo would have had it. You are right. I think that
our
was our
last bomb bag.
third and final bomb bag. So if Shadow doesn't have our hammer, we're very low on places that it could be.
Mm-hmm.
I think Shadow probably has like the majority of checks that we have left available to us in this game.
It's either in Shadow or the unlikelihood that it's in Ice.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Oh, it could be in water. Could be in water.
Yeah, it could be in water. Logically, we're just missing irons, but we can pretty much do everything except Central Pillar, so... Also, actually, given the fact that we do now have access into water, we can get storms.
Mm-hmm. So I think Storm's left all those on the table.
Yeah, so Hammer can actually be in a lot more places than I was thinking about because I was not including the storm stuff.
Yeah.
The evolution of this hallway in Shadow has also made me laugh. Like, it used to be people with dins at the very top because you could kill all three of the skulls with it, and then just clear the hallway and run through. And then people learned that there's a single place that you could nut that would stun all three, and then you could just run through without them dropping. And now it seems like a lot of people are just un-C up targeting and killing them with the hook shot as they run through. And I don't think it matters. I think it's a couple of seconds difference either way, but it's just funny to see how kind of like the trends move in this game. Especially, I guess, if you don't have nuts on your C-up bar, the killing them individually probably makes the most sense. Menuing in this game is slow. Early boss key. We'll see how nice Shadow is to us. Both of these runners have been putting on a very good race. The execution of both of these guys has been very good so far this race. So.
Alright, we have the Crushers. Oh. Well. There it is.
Okay. That is go mode with the question mark. It's like 89% go mode. because of just potentially central pillar in
Mm-hmm.
water.
Yep.
And again, that's only for us. That is, neither runner is in that mode yet. So.
Longshot is in Spirit Temple, main room, on the ledge.
Yeah, it was one of the ZL checks in Adult Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see the ordering now, because Yo-Yo is still going off potentially the boomerang, which led to magic, which led to hammer. So it wouldn't shock me if from here Yo-Yo goes into fire first
Mm-hmm.
to see if he pulls like long shot on his way to get the boss key and fire. But still needing long shot at all, or potentially a scary issue for him.
Whereas if Nath decides to go to Shadow after this, he's gonna go mode the rest of it.
Yeah, it's still a little nerve-wracking. There is just the fraction of a possibility that you need the irons, but yeah, Nath also had a very, very clean Baronade fight here.
I don't know about future Nath's or future Yo-Yo's problem. It's kind of current Yo-Yo's problem at this point.
Current Yo-Yo problem is this stupid wind room that sucks, but I think he should. Yeah, nicely done.
Confused.
So,
Oh, it's just Dompe digging.
might be. Is he still? Oh, I guess he is still looking for hammer. He doesn't know. Yeah, and I think he might be close to 20 that Nightcack might give him too, so. So we do have to go to the back of Shadow here for one small key, like always.
Probably on the manager.
Nath just turning in 10 skulls, so hour 45 in. What are you doing, psycho? Yeah, the mirror doesn't seem to be required. The one looming question left in the seed is just where is the water boss key? If it's anywhere but central pillar, our runners are basically in go mode. Specifically more so Nath, just because he has the long shot. Yo-Yo still has to find long. But Nath will find the rest of the items just in dungeons that he has to do anyway, so.
That was a very sagely raccoon.
Yeah, I'm very much of the opinion, like, you just need to play to whatever you've been doing. If you skip something that's, like, super accessible early on, if you check it at 2 hours, you're just hurting yourself. Like, just commit to your skips. If you're not doing skulls, don't do skulls. Just, especially in a 1v1, like, you kind of have to assume that your opponent has done stuff reasonably, but... I mean, if he was also, like, doing Dampe digging, like, I can understand it, but also, if you're skipping Dampe digging for an hour 45...
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah. Great question.
Slingshot?
Let's see.
No.
Ooh.
Condom? Bow. Or child bow. Yeah.
Ah. Yeah. I think again we're kind of in a weird situation where I don't know if Yo-Yo wants to run into the iron boots. And the only reason I say that is because of the spirit path.
Right.
The longer that the boomerang doesn't lead to anything that fulfills that path, the better it is for Yo-Yo, because they're more likely to go back to spirit as soon as they finish in here. Or fire. They'll probably do fire and then... But if we end up getting this really long chain that it's like, oh, it's boomerang for magic and Jabu, for hammer and shadow, and then you find irons in fire hammerlocked, you're like, oh, the boomerang path is fulfilled. I'm gonna go to GTG because it's my densest area, but if you go through that entire chain and you don't find anything, you go back to spirit, and you're like, my long shot is probably here. But even then, you could be going back to spirit for an iron boots bait path or something. Ooh, Yo-Yo tried to get the quick shot on Bongo. You can actually shoot his eye once both of the hands are blue, because his body stays in the same area. I think he just rimmed it. Hard to tell without the audio, but... So Yo-Yo probably has 10 minutes on Nath and Shadow progression. So it'll be interesting because Nath has done a tiny bit of fire. He did like the first 3 checks. And then Spirit. Till the long shot. But this is potentially a really close race.
And this is what we expected, fire dip.
Yeah. Nath is basically just going to be chasing Yo-Yo's progression dungeons. And it's just going to be where does Yo-Yo go once he finishes fire. Yeah, definitely a very good game 1 as an intro to this series. It's also going to be curious where Boss Key ends up being in this place.
I mean, we know where it's not.
Yeah. Oh, that one jerk piece that like sometimes aggroes you right when you open the door and sometimes doesn't. When it doesn't, it just feels bad. So. The only thing Twin Rova could really possibly have in this seed would be irons, but we're still not sure if we even need irons. It's likely we don't. The only way Irons is required is if the Water Temple boss key is on Central Pillar.
Oh look, almost vanilla.
Early boss key. That... I can't tell if that's good for Yo-Yo or no. It scares me in that they might try to climb fire.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to see what their decision is from here. Yeah, I think actually in like an optimal world, I think it would have been better for Yo-Yo if like you had to full clear fire. Just because it would have been not a decision on whether you climb or not, but now it's a decision that he has on top of the spirit path. It's tough to say too, because I think you've only seen... He hasn't even seen a single item in here, so I think there's... Oh god. My game knowledge is lacking. I think there's 6 items in fire. And technically there's a lot more still left in Spirit. And I think Spirit is faster. So if you're just going off like the statistical likelihood, I think you still go Spirit here as opposed to climbing, but it's a tough choice to make. Even if what he's cleared, I think Spirit still has more items available than 6 in fire. Yeah, you have to realize he's also cleared it, so I think he's seen 3 or 4 items in Spirit. So it's a little bit worse than like just a totally uncleared Spirit for him, but I think it's still better than doing a fire climb, but this decision's, I think, gonna just make or break the race, unfortunately. If he decides to climb or not.
Yep, Volve is key, not surprised.
Yep. Let's see what he does. Oh, this is the other option too, is there's a bunch of other hammer checks. Scrubs. Little scrub grotto here. This spider is just hiding from Nath. That makes sense for the bow path. That was...
Well, the bow path's for hovers anyway, but...
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it... So, there was a chance it was like just bow for shadow completion if long shot was locked, but that long shot was available, so... More bomb shoes.
Plus those hovers are required because fire is most definitely hovers locked.
Where's Yo-Yo? So this is the time that it starts to get scary for Yo-Yo, because he had the 10-minute lead on progression and everything, but the longer he goes without going to Spirit, that time is just Nath catching up on the progression. So all of this cleanup makes sense, but... The problem for Yo-Yo too, actually, is, he's chasing technically 2 items for water. we know it's long shot, but we still haven't seen the irons, so there's a chance, like, all of the spirit to, morphopaths could just be pointing you towards, like, a bait irons as opposed to long shot, so now I think we're just in kind of a little bit of do checks mode.
Yep.
Oh, Lax was a good idea.
Oh, this is a spirit play.
That's the song he needs. And he did just equip Mirror, so this makes me think it's Spirit over Reverse.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good turn. This race is gonna be a barn burner down the stretch. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
We got our race, guys. Come on. This is what you want to see. It wasn't that far in either, so this is Nath has to go do fire. I think Yo-Yo might be ahead.
Yes.
Nath just needs to grab Boss Key from fire, which wasn't that far in, but Yo-Yo once he gets
player dancers.
Yeah. Once Yo-Yo gets long shot is gonna probably just rush straight to water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean we're running pretty low on where irons could be. They could be out in like ice. Could be on King Zora or something stupid. But worst case, if we do need irons, that'll be a crazy kind of casino for him.
Mm-hmm.
Nath using the free Pierre long shot method to cross over.
It's not going to be as crazy of a casino as it could be. Because it
No,
still has
but-
to be locked in front of storms.
Yeah, so that is fair. Yeah, we did get, when Nath came through his adult spirit, I think he cleared pretty much everything that wasn't mirror locked. I think he skipped the magic stuff because he didn't have fire. So I think between the two runners, I think the only things that we haven't seen are like the mirror locked stuff in spirit. Yo-Yo getting the swag mirror bushes.
Nath missing the last hit on Bongo.
Oh, yeah, that's the last one.
Last two hits.
Yeah, that's a tough one cycle, just a Master Sword, but... So this is going to be Yo-Yo grabbing long shot, and Nath still has to do the Volv fight, so yeah, I think Yo-Yo is officially ahead.
If he bails.
I think he bails. There's no way you, like, push looking for irons when you don't know if you need them, so...
Okay.
Yeah, there's the Ocarina out, so... Yeah, no Serenade, no Prelude. I wonder... Is this faster than save quitting and riding Epona from downfield? This feels slow.
Unless he's going to GTG.
I don't think that's...
I don't know why.
Yeah. I feel like a save quit and playing Eponas is probably faster than this, but... Yeah, I think
We have to ask the logic behind this.
Yeah. There may not be much in it, but, you know, like when you get races that might be as close as this, the last few decisions on like small micro routing and stuff. I remember I was watching one of the tiebreaker races for a Challenge Cup group, and there was a race that I think ended up coming down to like 30 something seconds, and a lot of it ended up being very late game travel decisions that I think cost a runner like probably upwards of like 15 to 20 seconds, and then they ended up losing by like maybe 30. But to not spoiler it, I'm not going to say anything about who it was, because one, I don't really remember, and two, I don't know, it was a race like a month ago. But yeah, no, I think so every time that I've gotten into this mode where you don't know if you need irons, I think the just always correct thing is to just go see if you need irons. There's probably a very rare situation that like pushing further into like, I don't know, maybe irons are just mirror locked in spirit here, and boss key is central pillar, but the statistical likelihood of that is pretty low.
One in how many chunks in water?
Oh god. I mean, there's only 4 items, but there's 7 keys. So 11 or 12 checks total, I think. Yeah, I don't think it's like race deciding, but it did just feel like that was at least a few seconds slower than a save quit in the opponent's ride. But we're here now. We're in it. He still has a lead. Nath still isn't finished with the Volvagia fight, so... I'm gonna say, fortunately for us, we don't have to engage in the compass or map chest first debate today, because you can't do compass first with gold scale water. Yeah, Nath getting troll hold, but he did really well to work around that. No, you always do compass first. It's the only way that you can possibly save time in water. Don't get me started on dragon chest first. I'll start doing dragon chest first fights if you guys want.
That's a small key in the cracked wall.
Yep. Yoshi, if you want to fight, I'll fight. Yeah, Furores is actually a big advantage. I was not thinking about that. Nath being able to go set the Furores at the boss room before he even starts digging for the boss key can save some valuable time here. Where is Nath going?
Oh!
Oh, it was just a... Dude.
Yep.
Okay, save quitting was definitely faster. Oh, that is huge. I totally forgot about that.
I think it was gambling on it.
It's a 50-50. I mean, that's... That would have saved like a minute on travel alone, like, if not more.
Yep. Oh.
Okay. That's an early boss key, so that's not bad. The furrows will actually save a little bit more time too, because now Yo-Yo's gonna have to raise water, whereas Nath won't.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of just goes to
show you. This race is going to come down to execution. I mean,
Yeah, and
Yo-Yo is ahead, but not by much.
that goes to show you just the little time optimizations can add up. That was a big chunk of time. Mind you, we still have 3 trials worth of execution to do too.
Yep.
So. I wouldn't say it was a 10-minute lead. It was probably... I don't know. I'm really bad at estimating times.
It was probably 5 at most, and the way Yo-Yo decided to go to Lake versus Nath, praying that it was a 50-50 for Serenade on the Requiem check, him getting Serenade there. Definitely ballsy, but...
Yeah. Again, like, I probably would have save quit to play Epona anyway, so, like, worst case, if that's Prelude... Prelude's faster than save quitting at the end anyway.
Right.
So, like, even if it's not Serenade, I think the Prelude is still a little bit of a benefit, and then you just Epona's your way down to Lake, so... Yeah, Yo-Yo pulling the quick grab kill, doing the most efficient Morpha, staying a little bit of ahead here. So now we will see our trials, which were...
Water, and Fire.
What's the order they will do this? I really think you go do Fire first.
You do Fire first, Shadow second, Water third.
Yeah. You always want to try and loop around towards like where the barrier drops at the end as like an efficiency thing, but...
Also, from what I've found out, the item layout you need to do water with is the same one you need to fight Ganon with.
Oh, true, yeah.
So a bottle, light arrows, and hammer.
Yeah, that's valid.
Thanks, Baseball. You taught me something. I'm giving you all that credit.
I was just thinking movement around the castle. I wasn't even thinking the like menuing and items and stuff. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, was it Mel? I'm sorry, Mel. Milky also teaches me a lot of stuff. I come with both of you, or you're always the two on my streams, so I blame that. That I can't remember which one of you tells me insightful things.
Nath also got the quick kill on Morpha, so we're kind of even up there. I wasn't paying attention. Does anyone happen to have like the lead on like when... Oh, does Yo-Yo still not even know what the third trial is? That's crazy.
Going underwater. I guess you can tell because the barrier's up.
Well, yeah, but I just... He upped to look at the forest trial, like, light, to see if it was there, so I wonder if he maybe never got, like, the third one. But... Doesn't matter massively either way. Oh, getting frozen. This isn't the hardest trial in the castle, but it's probably definitely the most annoying one.
Definitely giving Nath some time back.
Yeah. This is the final boss of the entire game, is this stupid jump.
Mm-hmm.
This jump is like one of the most finicky ones in the entire game. Easy first try. Yep. Now the camera boss. Okay. Deals with the camera boss with ease. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Kayla. Not a hard trial, but one of the easiest to lose time.
So Nath is going to enter about 2 minutes behind.
Yeah.
So yeah, entirely execution from here on out.
Yeah.
Ooh, big chest.
What are we even missing? I guess like second magic, third bow.
Mm-hmm.
I think one or two slingshots.
Yep. I'll give me irons, yeah.
It can't. Logically, you
Oh,
need the
right. Yeah, you
to
do
need
need...
water to get in here, so.
Yeah. Probably second magic.
Progressive irons. Yeah, it's... We've actually decided to split the boots, so there's a left hover and a right hover boot, and then a left iron boot and a right iron boot now, so...
Oh god, that would be so annoying. Ooh! That's a void from Yoyocarina.
Oh, yeah. There is some very cool stuff that you can do in Fire Trial, but the void outs are fairly punishing, so I tend to just kind of... I'm a coward when it comes to this trial. I just get through it. Oh, no.
Second void out. Not good.
Yeah, a little late on the hovers equipped there. I wonder if he's feeling the pressure, if it's a little bit of trials. I think he was the one who picked trials, so he should be comfortable with it.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, it's just a little execution hiccup on the hovers activation. Yeah, honestly, the biggest trouble with Fire Trial comes if you just don't have Tunic or hovers. Not having the hovers just makes everything a little bit more annoying, and the platform sinking on you in the middle. Like, you have to do, like, a lot of double... There we go. Yo-Yo finishing the Fire Trial now. Just gotta climb ahead of us now. MQ Fire Trial's a nightmare.
I don't
But I would
remember
still...
what is an MQ fire trial, because I've done it once.
Yeah. It's just there's a lot more silver rupees. There's like one that rises up in the air, and then you have to do a backflip while it's in the air to like collect one of the rupees.
Oh god.
And if you do the backflip too late, you like... Because the platform starts to fall again, so you end up voiding. And there's just like 3 strength blocks that you have to pick up and yeet. Oh, it's awful. But it's better than MQ Shadow Trial.
Right.
Nath getting a little lucky there, getting knocked, but still landing on the platform. Yeah, I think Yo-Yo does have a probably couple minute lead here, going into the gauntlet of fights.
Making up time, but...
Every cutscene is painfully long when you're in a 1v1 race and you think that like there's a chance you're about to get sniped. Yo-Yo going for the double salt and pepper kill. Oh, he got trolled by the knockback. Not a bad recovery, though. When you're, like, crouch stabbing them and you, like, hit the back of their skirt and it causes you to, like, recoil a little bit, that's always the most frustrating thing.
47 seconds behind going into climb. Oh no, a minute 47.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, 47 seemed a little...
Yeah, a minute 47.
You get the light arrows from Dodongo's Cavern, like 2 hours
Nope.
ago.
And you don't need to do it with a bottle, you can do it with a sword.
Yeah. Little off with that crouch stab there. Missed the 1 cycle, but should still have a little bit of a buffer here. There you go. Yeah, I mean, as someone who has run, like, when you know you're in a pretty tight race or in any sort of 1v1 at this level, like, you just start to get nervous anytime you're inside Ganon's. So, a little bit of sweat on the hands, missed input here and there. Yeah, no, this has been a very good race by both runners. Yo-Yo played really, I would say, fairly thoroughly, like pushing for 30 skulls when it was like an unrequired mirror shield. So, good bit of deviation that kind of came back. End of the seed get a little linear.
I mean, I don't even know if I can fault any of the runners' choices. Everything
Oh,
made
no.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I think both runners played great. Both are going to sub 230. So I think the race came down to just a couple things. Like, I mean, you have to realize too, like Nath full cleared a GTG that Yo-Yo didn't touch at all, and he's still only going to lose by a couple minutes. So
Yep. That's honestly the biggest difference is GTG right now.
yeah. Yo-Yo did a little bit more of like a thorough child segment a couple times, which added some time to him, while like Nath did GTG, and that was just a little bit of the difference. Cloud
Getting
Goron
the 1
City being
cycle.
stacked. Ganon's not behaving very nicely today.
Yo-Yo about to butcher up some bacon.
Yo-Yo does the jump slash. That's interesting. I see most people doing the crouch stab, and I think technically jump slashing is a little bit faster.
Did your GGs in chat?
Yeah.
Very, very close race. And pokey, stabby the piggy.
There's the GG. So Yo-Yo will not be joining us for an interview. But if he's listening, great race, Yo-Yo. Obviously, this was game 1 out of a possible 3, so there will be a game 2 at some point. But what a great race to watch. 2:21:32 final with trials. That is actually very fast seed.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy fast.
I wasn't even realizing like how fast this seed went. While watching it, it was just fun to watch. So
yeah.
I don't know if we even have Yo-Yo in chat or anything, but if he is here, great race. Good luck in game 2 and everything. And at the end of this cutscene, Nath will also be finishing up. So. with an official 2:23:01. So just a minute and a half,
Mm-hmm.
minute 29 separating these two. That is a great race. All right.
Welcome in, Nath. GG's.
Okay, thanks for the GGs.
Good game.
But what
All
do you
right.
think of these terrible path hints?
I mean, it's trials. You're gonna get like not very many path hints toward your actual bridge, so this is how it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But the fact that it decided that it was going to pick all three strengths because they were all just available to hint as opposed to anything for a medallion dungeon was
Well,
a
it
little.
can't hint like hammer. It can't hint long shot. Like, there's nothing else it can hint. Like, it could have hinted light arrows. That's it.
Yeah.
Because nothing
No,
on
I know
path to
that.
tower can be on like the path to medallion. So like,
Yeah, but
it can't pick.
it could have just not chosen three tower hints, I guess is what I was trying to say.
Oh,
Like it could have chosen
yeah.
anything for like an actual medallion, which would have been nice, but
It's 50-50, so it's gonna pick usually
yeah.
2 or 3. So it's about average, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask this just because there were comments before the game. What was up with the chickens ban? Why are you like this?
I was bored. I didn't know what to ban, so I'm like,
Yeah,
you can pick
that's
anything.
fine.
I'll just ban chickens.
Yes.
It's a mental game thing. I don't know. People like their one chicken, so I'm gonna take it away from them and be that guy.
That's fair. Yeah, so I saw you guys chat a little in the race time room, but I think the difference came down to just you probably doing GTG. Um, he had a little bit more of a thorough like child segment earlier on.
I'm just kind of surprised he didn't do GTG because like at least in my shoes when I like made the decision to go, like where else do you go? Like, do you really
Mhm.
go like back to child instead of like full GTG and having like adult spirit available? Like, but
Yeah. No, I think like both options I think made sense at the time.
yeah, it just
GTG.
turns out this seat is a jet. You just go to Goron City and get everything on the way. You probably finish like at like 130.
Yeah. But execution from both of you guys was really, really good. Yeah, the three key forest, which I got mad at you for, but then it ended up actually playing out really, really well.
So why were you mad at me for? Out of curiosity.
Because I was joking because I watched the way that you were routing, and I was like, Nath likes to swag and he likes to do memes and stuff, and I was like, I wonder if he three keys, and then you went
So my
for it,
plan
you
there
hit it.
was if that. So I had 2 keys before I got to like the like island arch. If that was not a key there and I had to get the key in the well, I would not have done 3 key. That
Yeah,
was my plan.
I figured you were gonna just like you had the hovers and it was there, and I was like, you might go for it, and then you hit it first try. And then, of course, like the two keys that you ended up skipping were like the two longest checks in Forest too, so it actually just saved a lot of time randomly this seed. So, but yeah, no, it was chat was popping off with the swag. So
Yeah, I think the seed just comes down to just who does Goron City first, and it sounds like Yo-Yo did it first. So GG's to him.
yeah,
Happens. Wasn't expecting to have both Dins and what was the other one on there? Was it Magic? Not
Rudos.
Magic.
Rudos,
Rudos. Yeah.
Rudos. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The
Magic was
seed ended
in Jabu.
down the stretch. It got a little linear, just kind of forcing you into like Jabu, into Shadow, into Fire. So
Yeah, I kind of didn't want to find Hammer and Shadow, but it just ended up being in there.
yeah, it's fair. Honestly, the fact that you like full clear GTG and still only lost by a minute and a half is like very impressive. So.
I mean, it sounds like he did 30 skulls and got mirror. I'm not sure if he full cleared Spirit, but
No,
that's
his
a
go
big difference too.
both of your his go mode I guess was long shot out of the
Oh,
spirit
okay,
was long
inside the
shot.
Spirit, yeah.
He had done child spirit like in his child one with the bomb shoe pack.
Mhm.
So he pulled Rang probably like I don't know 15 minutes into the seed. Um, so we were talking for a while about like was it just going to be boomerang for magic for like long shot and shadow, but then when you went into as adult, so New IT guy, you got anything? Chat,
I
any
do
questions for
not.
Nath? Any insights you're willing to share about what you might change up for game 2?
I might ban something else random. That's about it.
Ban pick strategy? No, you're not gonna give us anything.
I haven't even decided what I'm gonna ban yet myself.
Nath, I'm your friend. You don't have to. Like, I'm not gonna tell anyone.
Yeah. I'm completely honest. I did not plan my like ban or picks until literally as we were picking them in the race room. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, I'll
that's
just pick this and ban this. Like, I don't like stuff. The whole list of like settings list. There's no setting I hate or can't play, like, or don't know well. So I'm like, I'll just pick or ban whatever.
Yeah. I think it was Sea Falcon who was just like randomizing his ban, I think, or something, or randomizing his pick because he felt the same way. Like he didn't really care what he played.
I was considering that. I'm like, I might just put it onto. If I ever like can't decide, I'm just gonna put it into like a random number generator and just have it pick for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this was a very fast trial seed. We were saying like both people finishing at 2:20, give or take a couple minutes.
Oh yeah,
With
I
the
mean these are
trials on.
pretty generous trials. Like so,
Yeah.
like fire and like literally all 3 trials except for fire like requires items you needed for the bridge. So like it's just
Yeah.
extra strengths.
Yep. I think that's everything from me. New IT guy, if you've got anything.
Nope. I'm good. I think we're ready for you to take us out, baseball.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching today. Yeah, thanks to our runners, Nath and Yo-Yo, putting on a great show. This is game 1. We're eagerly awaiting game 2. Thanks to our commentators, Pyra and New IT Guy, and thanks to ATM Shadow for tracking with me today, jumping in last minute. Really appreciate it. Okay, the next match on the schedule is actually on Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern. That's Alexis versus Machi. Not sure if we'll get that one on Restream yet. Yes, thank you for the prediction reminder. I like when people remind me. I did actually remember today, though, but thanks. Yeah, we're going to head on over to ZSR2. They're in the middle of the Mario versus Alex Game 1 match. If you don't want to see it halfway through, you can leave the raid. But yeah, hope you enjoy that. And we'll see you later for more OoTR action. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.